but still he knew every tree. Killed him a bar when he was only 3. Davy, oh Davy Crockett, king of the pioneers. He fought single-handed through the Injun War, till the creeks were whipped and peace was restored. While he was handling this risky chore, made himself a legend forevermore. Davy, oh Davy Crockett, king of the wild frontier. When he lost his love, his grief was gone. In his heart he wanted to leave it all and lose himself in the forest tall. But instead he answered his country's call. Davy, oh Davy Crockett, king of the wild frontier. He went down to Washington to serve a spell, fixing up the government laws as well. He took over Washington, we hear tell. He patched up the crack in the Liberty Bell. Davy, oh Davy Crockett, the king of the wild frontier. Now when he come home, his politicking done, the big western march had just begun. He packed up his gear and his trusty gun, took off a grinning to follow the sun. Davy, oh Davy Crockett, the king of the wild frontier. Now his land is biggest and his land is best, from the grassy plain to the mountain crest. He's ahead of us all, a meeting the test, followed his legend clear into the west. Davy, oh Davy Crockett, the king of the wild frontier. King of the wild frontier.
This is the story of Davy Crockett's greatest adventure. Davy Crockett at the Alamo. Folks all over America were singing songs about him at the time Texas decided that it had been ruled by Mexico long enough. The Texans revolted, and the Mexican general, Santa Anna, was given the job of putting down the rebellion. Davy had finished his job in the Congress of the United States and was itching to join the fight for Texas freedom. And now, to continue our story, here is the old-timer and his guitar, a man who has a lot of first-hand information about Davy Crockett at the Alamo. Howdy, friend. It's the old-timer. I reckon I just get kind of head up playing the guitar and talking about men like Davy Crockett. Well, I guess they call me the old-timer because I've been spinning yarns for a long time. Ain't much for me to do these days except, well, play this old guitar and think up stories for the young'uns. Seems like this Davy Crockett fella, at the time Texas started this shooting ruckus, was on his way to see his old friend Tex to get him to go along on a little trip out there to help fight the Mexicans. The way my grandpappy told it to me, Tex kinda, well, expected him to show up because he was busy there a-polishing his rifle when Davy rode into view.
Well, I'll be a wall-eyed polecat, Davy Crockett. You're a sight for sore eyes. What brings you down this way? Now, as if I didn't know.
Powerful glad to get off that horse. Well, Tex, the way you're polishing that rifle, I reckon don't need much answer to that one, do I? Oh, well. You heard about this Texas war, haven't you? What's going on?
Yeah, sure did.
Kind of figured you did there.
Nah, Davy Crockett, Might just as well come on out with it. When do we leave?
Well, that's mighty understanding of you, Tex. Them fellas look like they could use a little help down there, and, you know, I got a hankering to leave politicking to those politicians.
Well, now that you mention it, Davy, I've been rubbing on this rifle all week, wondering when you'd come riding over that hill. Now, come on inside. Watch that saddlebag.
Right.
There, by the door, see it? Wouldn't want a man trip and bust a leg just before he started riding clean of Mexico.
I wouldn't be too good at that,
From this valley, they say we're leaving. We will miss your bright eyes and sweet smile, for they say we're taking the sunshine that has brightened our pathway a while.
Yes, sir. The next morning, the two friends were riding out west, and when they finally got as far as the Mississippi, they climbed on board an old riverboat and continued their journey. One night, Davy and Tex made their way to the gambling room to watch the sights, and pretty soon old man Trouble poked his head out again at Davy, as he was likely to do. Appeared as how a fella there, a gambling man named Poker Face, was winning a mite too fast for the liking of one of the card players.
Concerted, Poker Face. You're either the luckiest man alive or them cards is doing tricks. You're too lucky to be healthy. Get up out of that seat. This gun says I'll win this time. You're a thieving Poker Face. Give me that gold.
That's right unsociable of you, mister. You know, a big fella like you shouldn't go shoving no little man around like that.
Why, I'll blow your head on. Nobody tells...
Just continue your playing, folks. Poker Face and I are going to take a little trip up on the deck. A man could get himself killed that way.
I'm going to Texas where the cattle all roam. Gambling man, rambling man, a long way from home. Here tell there's fighting at the old Alamo, where troubles a brewing, Davy Crockett will go.
Well, with that gambling friend in tow, Davy and Tex lit out across country, and pretty soon the rolling plains of Texas were passing underfoot as the three of them rode steadily toward the Alamo, where the fighting seems to have centered. They just stopped for the night near a stream when things began to happen. It seems like them Mexican patrols are crowding us pretty close, Tex.
From what I figure, Davy, well, we must be about 2 miles north of the Alamo. Hope that patrol didn't hear my horse whinny. Yeah, I'd sure like to sleep a little tonight.
Well, you ain't gonna have to wonder any more. One of them Mexicans is fixing to get himself promoted. Yeah, I'd say we better hightail it out of here before they drop in for a visit.
Hey, Poker Face.
Yup.
Throw that coil of rope over here. I want to leave something here for our Mexican friends so they won't be disappointed when we move out real sudden like.
Coming up, Dave.
Here, Tex. Tie this end of the rope to that big tree way down low, and I'll just stretch the other end over to the cottonwood over there, and then we'll kind of ride over and see how this Alamo shindig is getting along. I'll be right.
Better hustle it up. Those Mexican soldiers there are moving up their horses across by them trees. Looks like they'll ride on a shooting. All set, Davy?
Okay, fire away there, son. Let's ride now. Here they come.
Come on, Davy. There's more Mexicans across the stream. Consando luck. Here they come.
Well, there's one that won't be chasing anymore. Eat up. Come on, eat up. They rode through the night to the old Alamo, a-shooting their way through the Mexican foe. They galloped along through the dark, gloomy night, a-riding to join in the Alamo fight. Well, when the three of them finally reached the Alamo, they were just about tuckered out. As they rode up to the gate, things looked mighty quiet, almost too quiet.
Hold! Stand where you are. Put your hands over your head. Get off them horses.
That's the best news I heard all day there, friend. Oh, sure feels good to get out of that saddle.
Hello inside there. We're friends. This here fellow's name is Davy Crockett. We've come to join up in the fighting.
All right. Just move up real careful now where I can see you better. Up to the guard! On the cover!
Well, as soon as the three of them was inside the Alamo, they found out that the Texans were facing a desperate situation. Seems like the Mexican General Santa Anna had things pretty much his own way. The small band of Texas fighting men inside the Alamo had been fighting thousands of Mexicans for days and days, and there was just no signs of reinforcements in sight. Now, that night, just before they turned in, Davy sat drawing a map with a stick in the dirt floor of the hut where they were going to sleep. Tex, from what I can gather from the colonel, here's the way things look. Now, right here, Santa Anna has plumb circled the Alamo. Here's the way we rode in. Seems as though we came in from this direction right here.
Mm-hmm.
They're moving up more men and supplies over here, and, well, looks like we're all bottled up like a rabbit in a hollow tree.
Yep.
The colonel's looking for somebody to sneak out and find out when we can expect some reinforcements. Now, I kind of thought that...
If you don't mind, Davy, I'll take that little ride. I can't stand the noise around here anyhow. Seems like the Mexicans are dead set again letting the man sleep. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Come on, Davy. Come on. Get up. Let's go see that colonel. If I can bring some help back here to this Alamo, maybe we can arrange to talk with this Santa Anna general and change his mind about running these Texans with a Mexican brand.
Yeah.
That was close enough to shave him, and doggone it. Where's my gun? There, you varmint.
Come on, Tex. Let's get out on that wall. Them Mexicans are stirring up a hornet's nest out there.
Corporal! Get that ammunition over here. On it, double. Hurry! The Crockett, over here. Looks like the whole Mexican army. Hold.
Them uniforms those fellas are wearing make a right pretty target. Reckon as how I ain't gonna waste no ammunition. Here. Hey, Tex, watch it over on your left there. Look out now.
Them Mex soldiers must have heard of us planning to take a little ride this morning. Doggone it, that one just about ruined my britches.
Well, it looks like they kind of had enough now. That's right smart shooting those Texans done. Here I can count, let's see, there's 20 or so Mexicans that ain't going to be visiting the Alamo.
Well, I reckon if I'm gonna take that ride, now would be as good a time as any. I'll go see the colonel and saddle out. Now, don't you leave here till I get back, Davy. That's if I do get back.
A few minutes later, Tex, all dressed up in a Mexican uniform, raced out of the Alamo and headed through the Mexican lines to find out when and if those reinforcements would be sent at all. Well, inside that Alamo, there was about, 200 men left. And the strain of the night and day attacks by the big Mexican army was beginning to tell. Davy stopped by to talk to the colonel, who was being bandaged by one of his orderlies.
Hiya there, Crockett. Gee, I stopped a bullet in that last attack. Go ahead, tear off some of that bandage. Will you? Man can't work with all that wrapped around him. That's much better.
Colonel, I'm not an army man, but it appears likely to me, unless we get some food and ammunition and a small army of men, them Mexicans are going to stomp all over us.
Crockett, I'm mighty glad you're here. I've been trying to keep it from the men just how bad things really are. There must be 100,000 Mexican soldiers scattered around here, and they're moving up some cannons, which can do us a lot of harm.
Well, the way I sees it, them Texas men don't like sitting around nohow. So with your permission, sir, and a barrel of gunpowder or so, I'd like to call on some of them gun crews tonight and see if we can stop a cannon or so from talking so loud.
You just go ahead, Crockett. You got my permission.
Well, when darkness fell, Davy and the 3 Texans slipped out of the Alamo and crawled up on them unsuspecting Mexican gun crews who were busy setting up one of their cannons. The Texans worked fast and got the gunpowder all set up with a fuse and prepared to carry out their plan. Silently, they sneaked up and rushed the gun crew. All right, bring up the gunpowder right over here. Here's wishing you luck, General Santa Anna. Let's go, man, let's go. Savagely, the Texans fought against the overpowering odds, and finally Tex returned from his trip through the Mexican lines. He didn't have much to say, but his face told the story. There would be no help in time to save the men at the Alamo.
Whoa there, whoa! Hey, Corporal, take care of my horse. Well, he's about ready to drop.
Good to see you, Tex. Bad news, huh?
Yep, no reinforcements, but every day we hold out here is giving the Texans time to get an army together. But they'll be too late to do us any good here, though. I'll see you in a minute. I'm gonna tell the colonel. I'll be back.
Men, I called you together to tell you what the situation is. My scout reports that reinforcements won't be here for quite some time. We're the only Texans organized to hold the enemy attack, and our ammunition is about exhausted. Now, if any of your men leave here now, you have my permission to go. Some of you might even be able to go through the lines at night. Now, it's up to each man to make his mind up what he wants to do. God bless you all, men, and good luck.
Not a man left his position, though. They knew that they were practically writing their own death warrant, too. The Texas men are proud lot. The next morning found them silently cleaning their rifles and preparing to meet the Mexican attack. Davy and his friend crouched down on top of the roof of one of the buildings and looked over their weapons. Ain't used this knife for much lately, Tex. Seems likely, though, it's going to come in right handy today.
Now, if you'll hand it over here, Davy, I'd like to try to cut open this piece of bread here. Just about hard enough to dent that knife, I'd say. Gosh, there, have some, Davy.
I declare, you're the eatingest man I ever did see. Well, looks like you ain't going to be chawing on that very long. Look over there. Looks like all the Mexicans south of the Rio Grande are coming up to this party.
Here we go again. That'll teach you. Come on, you Mexican tin soldiers. Just a little closer. Bullseye!
Get those men up on the wall. Quick there, soldier. Don't get itchy on that trigger now. Wait till I give the order to fire. All right, men. All right. Fire!
Hey, Davy. They've got scaling ladders right below us. Look. Here they come. Well, this rifle's empty. Can't use it that way. Maybe you can use it.
Move back, Tex. I'll give that ladder a little bit of a push. There you
Look
go.
out, Davy. Behind you.
Look out! There goes the last of my ammunition. Well, I reckon them fellas and I are going to have to wrestle from now on.
Well, they're coming through the gates. Confound them.
How you hit bad, Tex? Come on, you Mexicans. You can't fight anyway. You shouldn't play with a knife. And so the history books tell us that the brave men died at the Alamo. They died like true Americans, fighting to defend their freedom. The cry of "Remember the Alamo" became the rallying cry for all America, and soon the might of our great country fell upon the Mexican armies, and they fled back across the border. The brave defense of the Alamo had not been in vain. The pioneer spirit of Davy Crockett lives on in the hearts of all real Americans.
Davy Crockett died a hero at the Alamo. This brave pioneer died a fighting the foe. His legend lives on and his spirit won't die. We'll sing of Davy Crockett till the sweet by and